Felix Trinidad, Oscar De La Hoya, Manny Pacquiao, Dmitry Bivol, Arthur Beterbiev, Bernard Hopkins, Floyd Mayweather. Damn, you don't think...
Sugar Ray Leonard's latest breakdown is making waves in the boxing world, as he's been outspoken and straightforward in sharing his thoughts. Terence Crawford has the tools to completely dismantle Canelo Alvarez. Sugar Ray Leonard views this potential clash as much more than a dream matchup. It's the kind of fight that could turn into a real masterclass. To him, it isn't just hype or casual opinion. It's about strategy, skill, and the way true technique can outshine raw power. Recently, Canelo Alvarez, who once shared the ring with the undefeated Floyd Mayweather, stirred the entire boxing world when he claimed that his upcoming opponent, Terence "Bud" Crawford, isn't just a great fighter. He's better than Mayweather himself. That bold statement spread like wildfire and eventually reached the ears of Leonard, a legend who has lived and defined what greatness in boxing really means. When asked to react to Canelo's surprising take, Leonard didn't rant or debate. He simply responded with a calm expression and a brief but powerful reminder. They've got to prove that. Those 5 words became the sharpest reality check in the whole discussion. Leonard wasn't dismissing Crawford, nor was he belittling Canelo's opinion. Instead, he was laying down a challenge, reminding everyone that in boxing, greatness isn't handed out through pre-fight talk or confident predictions. It's earned inside the ring. His skepticism carries weight because he's seen this cycle repeat countless times before, where talent and hype must ultimately be backed up by undeniable results.
What do you make of Crawford, Canelo saying Crawford's better than Floyd?
Hey, they gotta prove that.
What we're about to see feels like a modern-day remake of one of boxing's most iconic battles, the 1987 clash between marvelous Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard. That fight was unforgettable because it was a collision of 2 completely different styles and physical attributes. Hagler, the dominant middleweight champion, was the bigger, stronger man who imposed his will with sheer force and punishing power. Leonard, on the other hand, was the smaller, quicker technician, a welterweight who had been out of the sport for years but dared to move up and chase greatness. At the time, most people thought Leonard had lost his mind, even considering such a challenge. He knew there was no way to overpower Hagler, so instead, he relied on speed, movement, precision, and flawless strategy to outthink and outmaneuver the champion round after round, ultimately shocking the boxing world. Fast forward to today, and the parallels are striking. Canelo Alvarez, much like Hagler, is the naturally bigger man, the reigning super middleweight king who breaks opponents down with crushing pressure and devastating body shots. Fighters who remain stationary against him usually get picked apart and worn down systematically. Across from him stands Terence "Bud" Crawford, who resembles Leonard in so many ways. He's smaller but regarded as the most intelligent and adaptable boxer of his era, an undefeated, undisputed champion who can seamlessly switch stances, control the range, and make mid-fight adjustments like a chess grandmaster reading every move ahead of time. Just as Leonard once dared to test himself against a stronger champion in Hagler, Crawford is stepping up in weight to take on Canelo's physical might. And when asked about the timeless debate of whether size or speed wins fights, Sugar Ray Leonard doesn't even pause. From his own legendary experience, he insists the answer is speed. He knows better than anyone that a smaller man can win, but only if he delivers the perfect strategy on fight night.
Size or speed? Well, what usually wins in fights? Because that's what they're saying the tale of Canelo Crawford is.
Speed. I like speed.
Speed.
Yep.
Speed, yeah.
Sugar, as a fighter yourself who's moved up in weight, what were like questions that you were trying to answer for yourself in the ring, kind of against the bigger guy?
What's my waist? My waist size.
Yeah.
32, 40, 42. Yeah. You don't get that, do you? You don't understand what I'm trying to say. It's what you feel.
When asked about the challenge Crawford faces by moving up in weight, Sugar Ray Leonard delivered advice that carried the weight of both experience and wisdom. He admitted the danger is real, but reminded everyone that there's always a path to victory if it's approached the right way. For Crawford, that path is speed. Leonard explained that Crawford cannot afford to get dragged into a slugfest with Canelo because the bigger, stronger man would eventually wear him down. Instead, he must rely on constant footwork, sharp angles, and quick, accurate counters to keep Canelo guessing, much like Leonard himself once did against Hagler. The objective isn't to score a knockout, but to frustrate Canelo, to make him miss, and to consistently land clean shots that earn points and swing the judges round after round. Leonard compared it to walking a tightrope for 12 straight rounds, where one slip could spell disaster. But with discipline and flawless execution, it's possible. Yet Leonard also issued a sobering warning. Canelo Alvarez is not Marvin Hagler. He's a far more calculated, defensive-minded fighter who has spent his entire career learning how to handle fast, slick boxers. That's what makes this fight so fascinating. Crawford's brilliance against an opponent who has been preparing all along to solve fighters exactly like him.
What about Crawford do you think can bridge the weight gap? Or like with you, what did bridge the weight gap? Because a lot of people are just saying, hey, Canelo's just too big for someone like Terence.
That's true. But you know what? There's always a way. Put it that there's always a way. There's always a way to win.
Canelo Alvarez's approach to this fight will be straightforward but devastating. His strategy will focus on cutting off the ring and using his size to control the action, never chasing recklessly but applying steady, intelligent pressure. He'll advance methodically, using a tight guard to deflect Crawford's punches while inching closer with every step. His true weapon won't just be the heavy shots upstairs, it will be the relentless punishment to Crawford's body. By targeting the midsection, Canelo aims to drain Crawford's energy, restrict his movement, and eventually force him into dangerous exchanges where Canelo's physical strength and power can dominate. We've already seen him employ this exact blueprint against skilled boxers like Caleb Plant and Billy Joe Saunders, who both started strong but were systematically broken down by his suffocating pressure and brutal body work. Canelo will look to transform the fight from a chess match into a grinding battle, where Crawford's greatest weapon, his legs, is neutralized. That clash of styles, Crawford's speed, IQ, and adaptability versus Canelo's size, power, and unrelenting pressure, is exactly what makes this matchup so captivating. For both men, the stakes could not be higher. A win for Canelo would be another historic milestone in an already legendary career, proving once again that he can conquer any style and cementing his place as one of the greatest fighters of his generation. But for Terence Crawford, victory here would be career-defining, perhaps even legacy-making on an unparalleled level. To move up in weight and defeat a fighter of Canelo's caliber, after already becoming undisputed at both 140 and 147, would make him the first man in history to achieve undisputed status in 3 divisions and topple a modern legend in the process. That kind of accomplishment would elevate him into the rarest tier of greatness, right alongside icons like Sugar Ray Leonard. With everything at stake, the mental battle has already started. Canelo's claim that Crawford is better than Mayweather has sparked endless debate, but was it genuine respect or a clever mind game? On one hand, it could simply be praise meant to build hype, but on the other, it may have been a calculated attempt to add intrigue to the fight. The irony is hard to miss. The only way Canelo could truly validate that bold statement is by actually losing to Crawford, and that is a scenario he has no intention of allowing.
Of a fighter, if it goes the distance, he might be able to get that decision win. But I think if there's a knockout, then it might be Canelo who's getting the knockout win.
Crawford all the way. Hey, listen, it's going to be a good fight, though. I feel like he has what it takes to bring the upset. I really do. Granted, the size is a big issue.
From the last 3 fights, I believe Crawford wins.
I like Crawford, but I gotta go with mi gallo is Canelo. So I gotta rock with Canelo. I think the size makes a difference.
Canelo, but you got to take your head off to Terence Crawford for just moving up multiple weight divisions. I have Canelo winning. More comfortable at 168. Crawford's a great fighter, but I think the weight problem might be a big problem.
It's all part of the psychological chess game, a carefully crafted web of mind games meant to keep Crawford second-guessing and to shape the storyline in Canelo's favor before they ever step into the ring.
Like Crawford, or may use the same game plan? I don't know. I don't really know. But, I put that fight in other place right now. I think Crawford is a little better than Mayweather. But Canelo have more experience right now. No,
Canelo fanboys, please explain to me how Terence Crawford is actually better than Floyd Mayweather. If Crawford ain't fought not one elite fighter and Mayweather's beat the most world champions in the history of the sport of boxing, someone please explain to me how Terence Crawford is actually better than Floyd Mayweather.
Critics argue that Crawford has yet to face the same level of elite competition that Floyd Mayweather dominated, pointing out that Mayweather holds the record for beating the most world champions in boxing history. This raises the question, how can Crawford truly be considered better? At the heart of this debate lies a classic storyline that has defined boxing for generations. Will the smaller, quicker, and technically brilliant fighter rise to the occasion and pull off a stunning upset, much like Sugar Ray Leonard did against Marvin Hagler in 1987? Or will the bigger, stronger champion use his physical advantages to prove that some challenges are simply insurmountable? The comparisons are impossible to ignore, the stakes couldn't be higher, and fans remain sharply divided. Yet perhaps the most insightful perspective comes from Sugar Ray Leonard himself, a man who lived this story. When asked who would win, Leonard's response was simple but powerful. Whoever wants to win will win. In other words, this fight won't be decided by size or speed alone. It will come down to heart, determination, and the will of a true champion willing to go further than the other.
Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford, remind me if I'm wrong, but you moved up insane amounts of weight to fight Lanny Dadon and you pulled it off.
Yeah.
How were you able to do it? And what if Crawford's listening to this or Canelo's listening? What do you tell them about their fight?
Whoever wants to win will win. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I'm not being funny. Whoever wants to win will win.
The will overcomes everything. That's how you did it.
That's-
I appreciate you. Great seeing you so much and keep doing the good work.
That wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss future uploads. Drop your thoughts in the comments below and stay tuned. We'll see you in the next one.